Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, The Electric State. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, The Electric State. If you end up enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. That way I don't live long enough to see sentient robots take over the world for the umpteenth time. This movie is directed by the Russo brothers, who are responsible for some of the most successful Marvel movies ever made. The synopsis is as follows. An orphaned teen hits the road with a mysterious robot to find her long-lost brother, teaming up with a smuggler and his wisecracking sidekick. Instead of talking about the 6 things that make a movie great, I'm just going to share my spoiler-free thoughts on the film. When I first saw the trailer for this movie, I thought, what could go wrong? You have the Russo brothers directing, you have what looks to be some really good CGI, you have Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt headlining, along with names like Giancarlo Esposito, Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, and Stanley Tucci, in what seems to be an original and interesting idea for a movie. But it turns out that even with all of those awesome factors, things can go horribly wrong. So Michelle, played by Millie Bobby Brown, is connected at the hip with her genius brother, Chris. But sadly, there's a car accident that claims the lives of her entire family, and Michelle is left all alone to face this ever-changing world that's incorporating more robots as she gets older. The attitude for these sentient robots that are a part of society starts shifting, and while the robots are fighting for their individual rights, everyone else is saying that they're robots, so they're not real, they don't have any rights, and they get put on this desolate wasteland reservation to die. A larger company takes over everything and allows people to basically pilot their own robots, which work kind of like Ready Player One, except for in real life. That becomes the preferred robot system moving forward. Now that Michelle is an orphan, she's placed with kind of a deadbeat father figure, when all of a sudden, one of the sentient robots breaks through the door and encounters Michelle. And although this robot cannot talk, he indicates that he is Chris, Michelle's dead brother. Not only that, but he claims that he is still alive and wants Michelle to find him. Michelle runs into Keats and his little robot, and they take off on an adventure together to try to find her brother. There are a lot of elements in this movie that could have been more mature, but because they never went quite as deep or dark as they needed to, they didn't land the way they should have. And what we ended up with was a dull, boring slog of a movie. The script of this movie was horrible. Not only was it completely unfunny, but it was just mind-numbingly stupid. And the acting in this movie was horrible as well. The actors seemed to be as robotic as the robots they were inhabiting. And don't get me wrong, I love the originality of this movie and the fact that it's based off of an illustrated novel made back in 2018, but the script, storytelling, character development, all of the really other important things that would make this movie good were not there, and it ended up being horrible. And with all of that, the fact that this movie is over 2 hours long just makes it that more miserable to watch. It had a lot of potential, but there was no delivery in sight. And because of that, I can't give The Electric State above a 4 out of 10. I'm starting to get pretty concerned with movies in general because a lot of movies have all these things set up for them and then have the worst writing that I've ever seen, and it absolutely tanks the movie. And this is just another example of that. This movie is really not worth wasting your time to watch, but if you have a couple hours to burn and you're the least bit interested, it's available to watch on Netflix. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen The Electric State, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.